Hello, everybody, and welcome to the wonderful Sunday Sofa, twice monthly, wonderful show. And we welcome you today. Please do share. We'd like to spread our love around this planet. We've got lots of love to give, so please do share. And please tag anyone in that you think would enjoy this show today, the Spiritual Sunday Sofa. So my name is Polly Harnett and I am a spiritual medium. I am an animal healer communicator, trance medium healer, and I am really pleased to be here today. And we are here with the lovely
me. Hi, I am Jane Morton. I am a psychic medium, healer, teacher healer, holistic therapist, and I am also excited to be here today, even though our show didn't win, did it?
It didn't, but we came very close, didn't we?
And we were happy with Bill. Can I just say before we start, Mr. P, can you just slightly move the comments over? You didn't put the comments up when we were talking. Just slightly. Just
other way.
Stop.
Oh, back again, just a little bit. No, other way. Perfect.
Thank you.
Oh, no, down too much. Right, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So then, who have we got watching with us today? We're very excited.
Did you say watching or washing?
Watching.
Hang on, I've got to clear my ears out.
We hope you've had a wash today. I have. Nina, good afternoon.
Janice Vinton, good afternoon.
Yvonne Jackson, hello everyone.
Hello, Olivia Lewis.
Hi, Kate O'Mahony. And she shared. Marvelous.
Hi, Alison Barton.
We love Alison Barton. Hi, Carolyn Thomas. And thank you for sharing and liking.
Hi, Joanne Lewis.
Hello, Anne McLennan.
Hi, Claire. Helen, is that Helen? Sorry, yeah. Claire.
Hi, Catherine Edwards-John. Shared with family and friends. You are the best.
You're getting all the sharers. Hi, Chris Pilley.
Hi, June Malkin.
Hi, Gracie Trapani.
Oh, there's somebody with no name, but hello from Oklahoma.
Do you know the name, Mr. P?
Whoever you are from Oklahoma, hello.
Hi, Christine Murray.
Hello, Paula Jo Padlier from Oklahoma. Hi, Karen Prince.
Hi, Mary Carr from Johannesburg. Sorry, didn't see that.
Hi, Jade Fleming from Crowell.
Hi, Janice. Oh, we've done Janice, haven't we?
And we love you back.
Yeah.
Hi, Sally Worker.
Hi, Melanie. Oh, he's done this on purpose. But yeah, just Melanie from London. Not just Melanie. Hi, Melanie from London.
Hi, Dawny.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Jane.
It's me. Wendy Lindsay. Hi, Wendy Lindsay.
Hi, Sue Chadwick.
Hi, Rena.
Hi, Dale.
Gail. Dale. Hi, Maz.
And hi, Kerry. Marvellous, Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Marvellous that you're all watching with us today. Hi, Kelly McKeating.
Hi, Felicity from Australia. So we've got some nice People tuning in around the world, Polly.
Around the world. And
All
anyone that's
around
just
the
joined
world,
us, please do share for us. And like I said, tag people in if you possibly can, people that would enjoy a little bit of chat. And if we are inspired by your chat, then hopefully you might get a reading today. We might pull you a card. So please do, like I said, get involved. And when we have our conversations, we like you to get as interactive and as involved as possible. And then, like I said, you're more likely to get a card and a little inspiration from us. We do like to give a little bit sometimes, don't we, Jane?
We do.
So
Sometimes.
then, today, now usually we have a subject, but today we're going to ask a question. So our question to you guys, and please do, like I said, get interactive. Do you feel like the spiritual scene has sort of maybe changed or crumbled a bit? Do you feel that maybe there's been so many things like demos, lives, events, and things like that? Have you lost interest in going to these things? For example, paying to go to these things. Why have you lost interest in going to these things? We were having a conversation before the show, and it was just a general thing that sometimes people are doing events and maybe there's not enough people. Sometimes they're getting cancelled or postponed. Is it the money? Is it too much money and you haven't got the money at the moment? Is it because you've got bored of going to watch them and would prefer to pay and save up your money for a one-to-one reading? What's your views, guys? So yeah, let's see what you guys have to say. And what's your experiences? Have you had a really good experience at a demo and really like going to see new people, or do you prefer to go and see the same people, for example? So yeah, we're really interested in your thoughts. So please do let us know what you're feeling.
Janice Finton's put up yes. So is she answering yes? She's fed up with it.
Yeah, got bored of it. Hello, Wendy Gawley. It's fine if you have. We're just interested because obviously, like we were saying, Jane, during lockdown, every medium and their mothers were basically on doing lives and things like that. We couldn't do demos. We couldn't do spiritual fairs, as in face-to-face ones. We couldn't do face-to-face learning, for example. That's another one. Do you prefer to sit at home and do a Zoom like demo, for example, or a Zoom course because it's easy, you don't have to leave your house? Is that a reason? So yeah, do let us know. But I do feel like that a lot has changed since the lockdowns, for example. Do you, Jane? Where I think people have got used to not having to go anywhere as well.
Well, they got used to their pajamas on, didn't they? Like me, I'm sitting here. No, I'm not really. But people got used to sitting with a pair of pajamas on, watching something. They didn't even have to show their face, did they? Or they just got used to it because they had no choice, because we were kept in. I mean, for me personally, and I've said this before, Richard approached me beginning of lockdown to go on air and do a show. When I said, oh no, I've never done anything like that, I don't want to do it. For me, it changed my sort of way of thinking, and obviously got me on here as a host, because the only time I'd ever come on before was a guest on the Sunday Sofa when you first did it. And that was in a live studio. So it was good for me in that way to sort of go on a live and do it. But it is the only lives I do, other than I sometimes go on Sam's page and help her out. I don't choose to do lives on my own page. I'm not interested in it at all. I just do SPTV really, and that's my commitment. And I did do workshops when we were in lockdown, but for me, I didn't teach workshops. I actually went on courses and workshops because I thought, if I'm going to sit here, I might as well brush up on a few things and get a bit more knowledge. But that was okay. All right, then. I'm just going to let you all know, people. Sorry, Richard's just had to tell us. Facebook's frozen some of the comments, so he's copying and pasting and putting them up. So we've got to be mindful talking and looking back when he's copying and pasting. And just quickly, Wendy Lindsay's put up, we've stopped standing at many MBS fairs as they've got greedy and raising store fees to double. Oh, so we're pretty lucky, Wendy. From our experience, what I've seen here, I haven't gone back to any fairs. Doing the SPTV one in a few weeks is actually my first one since lockdown. But that's been a reasonable price, Richard. So well done you. But yeah, I don't know, Polly. Have you noticed the fares have gone up here?
I mean, I don't know where Wendy Lindsay lives. So I mean, I think in different parts of the country, some are certainly taking advantage. However, double is disgusting. It would just be it would be unachievable for me. You may as well not go. I may as well stay here and do my work here with no overheads, for example. But I do feel that if you look at it from a sort of maybe a different perspective, if they are running it from a hall and the hall have put their prices up, for example, then they have to cover their, the hall, for example. So, and maybe the electricity and blah, 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 blah. So in some respects, it's like restaurants, for example, a restaurant, if they've put the rent up for the building and then they've put the electricity up and the gas for all the cooking, and then you have to raise your money, or else it's just not worth doing it. And you've obviously got the costs of the food, for example. I mean, even in Lidl, where Jose shops, it's gone up in price. And so, he said that there was, I can't remember what product it was, because I don't really take any notice, because he's the one that does the shopping, because he's the one that does the cooking. But he's saying that maybe he used to spend, like, I'm just making it up, 65, and then he's spending 75. And that's in Lidl, for example. So, I guess we have to be mindful if a community centre has put their prices up, the people that are running it have to put their prices up. But in the same way, if it was double, for example, I usually spend around £45 on a table for being a reader at a fair. And if they put it up double to £90, I wouldn't be able to go.
No.
Well, to be fair,
because
in principle, I wouldn't go.
No, because you've got to be realistic in the time frame you're there to get the readings in. So it wouldn't be worth it. And obviously there is a cost. People have a cost of entering. So obviously even people coming to the fair, I mean, again, I haven't been to it. I think I went with you, Richard, didn't I? A little while back, we checked one out. But I haven't physically been to a fair as a visitor properly, and this has been my first return back as a reader in over 2 years. I haven't done a fair, but it's something like £2 to £3, maybe £4 to enter as a visitor. Have they doubled that? I'm just going to quickly, but it is a fair point, Wendy. But I did see you sold out on a psychic supper the other day, so well done you. Who needs a fair when you can go and do that?
Yeah.
I'm just going to read these for Richard, because he's trying to copy and paste them, and in a minute me and probably be going like that because we can't see them. Yvonne Jackson says she used to go to a spiritual church every week, and it was the same people every time. So that was getting a reading. We have heard those comments before. I'll go back to you in a minute, Yvonne. Chris Pilley says she lives in South Africa. We don't have many spiritual events, fairs, etc. here besides the church. So I'm always happy to join you for lives. So thank you very much. I'm glad SPTV is bringing that to you. And Mary Carr says, I think more people are becoming more aware of spiritualism in South Africa anyway. So obviously, again, different cultures, different countries are probably having different things going on as well. I mean, that's quite interesting. So has the likes of SPTV and other things that have gone out live brought that to people in different places and community? Yeah, our SPTV doing too many lives. Are you people glad SPTV are here and have been here all through the last 2 years, or do you think we do too much?
Yeah.
Another one, if anyone wants to give us feedback on the awards. It was the first time ever we did awards. What was people's feelings on that? Did they understand what the awards were for? Did they understand it was public? It was for anyone to be nominated and the public to vote. So there's a lot that could probably come out today. But going back to Yvonne, what do you think on that, Polly? Obviously, same people getting reading, because we have talked about that in the past, haven't we? Don't really do churches, so.
No, we're probably the two people that probably aren't great at being restrained. But for example, I have worked in spiritual churches. I've served in spiritual churches is probably the better way to say it. And when you go round to, like, maybe it was 2 or 3 I used to do, and there's 2 different reasons. I think some readers go to people that they possibly know or have said yes to them before, and it's a safety net, if you like. that's why when I read, I won't go to a person. I will give the information out, and whoever can put their hand up if it makes sense to them. It's a way I work anyway, but I also feel it's a fairer way of working, because the information might be taken by 3 different people. It might look like it's going to the first one. It might be for all 3 of them. It could end up being the last one, but that's how I work. So when I'm standing there and I get the information, I give it out, and whoever it makes sense to can put their hand up. Same as if I work on sptv. However, you do also get these people that go every single week.
Yeah.
And they go to public demonstrations of mediumship as well, not just churches, and they will put their hand up to everything, because maybe they've got a real void in their lives. Maybe they're so desperate to get a message that they are putting their hand up every single time and getting a message, even if it was like they said, I've got a man here. Well, I'm going to put my hand up. You know what I mean? It's like that extreme that you think, well, okay, well, I haven't given you any evidence yet. That's my dad. You know what I mean? Because it's a man in spirit. And I'm thinking, hang on. Right. Well, this man passed away with this, or this, and this is what his traits were, and this is some evidence, etc. And they're still like putting their hand up, and it's almost like some of the people I've seen have got so many relatives up there that have got different things because they want a reading. And sometimes it is a desperation thing, and these people are literally religiously going every single week to demos and churches and everything for that, because and one person said to me once, and I've told you this before, they said that they used to put their hand up because as soon as that medium got their attention, then they're going to psychically start talking to them.
So
and
a little bit of manipulation, really, isn't it?
It's naughty. But I totally understand, and I've seen it before, Yvonne. I have witnessed it before, and probably another reason why I don't do them so much. I like the demonstrations to do a demonstration where it's anybody and everybody. Don't have to be attached to any sort of denomination, or I like to give what I give, and hopefully it makes sense to everybody. I've seen it so many times before. What do you think, Jane?
Yeah, and like I said, I've been to a spiritual church 2-3 times tops in the whole of my lifetime, so I really couldn't comment too much. All I know is it wasn't for me. I felt it was very conformed. I can't sit, I don't do as I'm told, so it didn't work for me. But maybe, and again, not knowing what's happened because people haven't been able to physically go into those churches until more recently, maybe it's the same people in there. There's no new faces going into these establishments. So obviously they are going to get the readings, because if you've not got new people coming in and fresh faces coming in, there's nothing there, is it? It's all a bit stagnant. It's all a bit stale. You can only bring in someone's love. I mean, if you've got a big family, but how many times can you keep doing that without people noticing it? Because there's no new faces in there. So that might be a reason, Yvonne, as well. Deb agrees with you, Polly. She says it happens online as well too, which we know it does as well, Deb. We know that as well, yeah. And because the other thing is, to be fair, because we've said this, especially when we all went and did the spiritual weekend, there are some people that you'll bring a spirit in, and there will be several people in that room that generally can take that information. And it's just the way spirits are all connecting to each other while they're up there, and then the medium has to try and decipher who that reading really is for. So even if you do try and manipulate it, the reader's the one that's going to sense who, the medium's going to know really who it's for. But I've done it myself. At the spiritual weekend, I had my hand up a couple of times. I think Bill, the lovely Bill, did do a reading for me, but I think even Ivan brought someone through. There was a lot of people that could take the same information, and we do have to be mindful that spirit does connect up there. So it's not saying we were all wrong. It's just, it's getting that information to the right person.
Often, you can do a triple link and give everybody a message out of it, which is really, really good.
If someone can take something from that, then even better. If someone still feels that was for them anyway, then that's ideal. But we know about that. So obviously we've covered Yvonne with the spiritual churches. Maybe there's a reason for that. We don't know, because me and Polly are the worst 2 people to ask. Polly, Deb also said this, the Psychic Awards was brilliant. Sue Chadwick said the awards made for a brilliant night, so it was nice to see all the nominees. So thank you to everyone that watched and everyone that was nominated and everyone that won. We'll do that first, get that out of the way.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, so we've got Natalie Rogers now. So Natalie, I can relate to you on this. I have chronic fibromyalgia. I do also find it difficult to get to venues. So by SPTV going on, I find it so much easier and absolutely love it. And again, yeah, disabilities in themselves would restrict people. I've had fibromyalgia for 9 years. I'm lucky. I say lucky. I manage it quite well because of my holistic therapies and because of what I do. I can manage it, but that doesn't mean I don't have debilitating days where no one will actually see or hear from me. And that does affect someone's mindset and their physical ability to get to places. So we do know that this channel in particular, and maybe other lives, have helped people, haven't they? That are housebound, that have not been able to get out. So we know that's worked there. What's SPTV put? At least you can do things at home while listening to SPTV. Laugh out.
Yeah, like make your roast.
Yeah.
Or wash up.
True, because you haven't got when you're watching Last Now, your camera's off. Even in the Zooms, people don't have to physically put their face up, do they, Richard? And they can carry on doing stuff while they're watching. But it's true, isn't it? You can choose whether to be seen or not. Don't deserve it, eh?
So, Krish.
So that was the one about not having many churches in South Africa, Polly.
Yeah, Pillay. I live in South Africa. We don't have many spiritual churches.
They've only got churches, not fairs and events. Yeah.
They're always happy to join you for lives. I feel like Krish needs a card. What do you feel?
On, then. Yeah, go on.
Whoa, one just flew out the pack. Don't know what it is. It's a surprise. Supplies. Right. Oh, that's a funny pair.
I'm just laughing at Wendy Lindsay. She's put, prefer doing online readings as I don't have to clean my house as much. Laugh out loud. So it is funny, Wendy, because I did do them in the lockdown. I had no choice. But I have actually totally enjoyed going back to face-to-face. And I've done very limited online if they're local. I've only done online if they've been abroad or up country. So I must admit, I prefer my face-to-face readings. I'm old school. But I get what you're saying about the housework and all that smudging and everything. God, it's a nightmare, isn't it?
So, Krish, I've got 2 cards fell out the pack. You have the Empress and the Fool. There. Right. Well, they were a right funny pair to fly out. And I did say it's a funny pair. I didn't mean it in any other innuendos type way, Mr. Producer. So, you giggled. So, this, Krish, is like a fresh start, a leap of faith. And this card here, it can come around babies. I do think there might be some baby news within your family actually coming up. I keep seeing a pink one, just so you know. Pink being a girl, obviously. Right. But these cards together are really saying to me that there's something that you're wanting to do, something you're wanting to achieve. But there's a little bit of, like, say, apprehension. Well, a lot, actually. There's some apprehension. There's some anxiety. It's saying to me that you've just got to... Do you know when sometimes you've just got to, pretend you're confident, right? Believe me, I've done this before, some demos in my early years. Pretended I was confident, got up there and boomed it out and thought, oh, my God, thank God for that. But this is saying to me, you've just got to start thinking you can rather than thinking you can't. It's a real time here for a fresh start, leap of faith, like I said. It's a time here for believing in yourself, standing your ground as well. Krish, are you on your spiritual journey here? Because I do feel like you have the abilities, let's say. It just feels like you should be learning in lots of anxiety. Now, this is saying to me that you just got to sort of, like, so pretend you're confident, always talk yourself into being confident. I think with a lot of people have got anxiety. A lot of people suffer from anxiety. Some people you wouldn't even know that you suffered from anxiety, but just know, just to be brave, to be bold, and anything you wanted to go for, anything new, anything you want to achieve, this is saying it's time to get started, Chris. So please do start doing that. Has somebody also been talking about moving abroad or moving over the seas or moving away around you, Chris? Because there's a feeling with me at the moment that it's like somebody is trying to reach out further, so reaching out further than they already are, moving further away possibly as well. There's no sorrow in this, all right? It just feels like it's the right thing to do. It's a bit of a bold, brave thing. Now, this could be yourself, it could be a family member, but this is saying, look, let's just sort of see what we want rather than what everyone wants for you. Think about what you want for you, all right? So this is real time for like biting the bullet, making plans, and yeah, just getting on with it, really. Getting on with it. I hope that makes some weird sense to you.
That's weird for me because I picked to the sea and I got someone going over water, a move abroad or moving across water. As soon as I looked at it, I thought someone was making a decision to go overseas. I also got, like a sundial in the garden. And
the parents are moving.
The north. Oh, right. Okay. So, but I kept feeling like, when you spin the sundial and see where it lands, northeast, southwest, I feel like someone can't make a decision. So I got the anxiety around that. Lots of water around you in general, which was making me think of emotions and anxiety. But I also feel you've got you haven't turned your back against somebody or something. It's like you haven't noticed it. It's like if someone put something in front of you, you wouldn't notice it, and it's like your back's to it. There's something going on that you're not seeing that's right under your eyes. I don't know if this is a spiritual learning, because I feel that you're pretending you can't do it. You're making excuses not to do it. So just be mindful of that, because it's not deliberate. It's almost psychologically you're just shutting it out. And I've also got a young man that's coming, quite a young person came in, and I'm getting the initial C, but that's all I'm getting with him. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, Chris, because I just got that from all there. And something about looking through the looking glass. Someone's saying something about, like in Alice in Wonderland, but it's saying look through the looking glass. So I don't know if it's a way of saying open your eyes up and see what's in front of you, but that's the message I'm getting, through the looking glass.
Fabulous. Hope that made sense, Chris. If it doesn't, it will.
And thank you for your question.
Right then, so let's see what is next. So, did anybody say that they thought that the costs were too high for certain things? I know that when Wendy
said about the fares, I think Wendy lives slightly up country near to where you come from, actually, Polly. If I
Sally,
Wendy. But
yeah, Wendy. So, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Sally says, I agree with the money side of things. I've managed to pay for a few private readings, though. I mean, that is the thing. I've put my readings up by £5 for the first time in 4 years.
Me too.
And it was £5, and it's still cheaper. Not that I'm selling myself on it, but why not? It's average and still cheaper than some people, because that was my choice. That's how I'm quite happy with that price. But I did it because, we are back working. If I go out to venues and stuff, you've got to cover your costs there. But that was literally because I hadn't had a price increase either. But, people they are paying out for readings, which is probably why they like SPTV, because they get some great advice, don't they? How much would people... All right, do you want to
let's read Alison Barton's first. So I think money is one of the problems, but there is also the people who don't go to shows because they may not get a reading. So many people online at the shows expect readings all the time. It's actually true. I mean, we did say at one point, especially over lockdown, but even now, you could very much find, if you are joining everybody's sort of pages, for example, that you could skip from a live to a live to a live to a live. It was more at one point, obviously, when people were furloughed and people couldn't go out there and work, etc. And so, I mean, why pay for something if you don't have to? However, again, you get a lot of the begging, a lot of the guilt trips and things like that. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but some people do it. And no offense to anybody that genuinely desperately needs a reading, because sometimes I do sometimes. Me and Jane have said before, should we do a swap, because we both needed a reading and it made sense. Why pay each other when we can do a swap, for example? And we've probably both done that for different people. So yeah, I get that totally, Alison, really. And yeah, because you can't guarantee that if you go to a public demonstration of mediumship, you can't guarantee you're going to get a reading. You hope
maybe people are scared to go back out in public. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not just, money is a massive thing, but maybe people are still scared to be at an event out somewhere public. Maybe that's it, because they've got used to being away from people. Maybe it's a mixture of things. Who knows? That's why we're asking. But have people, i.e. not us because we're lovely, SPTV, but have people oversaturated it because you can now go back out? Are people literally jumping on left, right and centre? Fairs, events, you name it, workshops coming out your ear. Have people literally oversaturated it to try and recruit maybe back work? Or just get their name back out there? I
think that some people, for example, when I'm talking about saturating the market, there are people that have got, they're not, in my opinion, aren't necessarily spiritual. They like to think they are, but actually they're doing everything to line their own pocket. And don't get me wrong, if you're a business person, if you're self-employed, you've got to be a business person to a degree anyway. But some people have oversaturated it big time for their own pocket. They're not, I know a lot of the people that I know that run a spiritual, like fair, for example, Mind Body Spirit Fair, they do it twice a year. They'll do it in March and they'll do it October, November, for example. So there's 2 a year. And so rewind to before the lockdowns. I used to go to probably 3 people's fairs on a regular basis. And when I say regular basis, it was twice a year. So, and they were all in conjunction with each other. They would never do their events on the same days, so that it didn't upset anybody. They were good, respectable people who were running a fair because they loved running a fair. And they loved running the fairs because it brought the community together. It brought spiritual people together. They got lots of free workshops. It wasn't just about the stalls. It was like there might be a demonstration. There could be a demonstration of healing. There could be a talk on shamanic healing, all these things. And yes, these people that are coming in, they're promoting themselves, but they're not getting paid for that. They're not getting paid for that, but they're hoping that people will join them on their events and join them on their things. And to me, that's how a spiritual fair should be. It's about the community. It's about bringing the people together. It's about giving people a little bit or a taster of things so that they can find where they want to be, or their Reiki teacher, for example. Could be anything. But that's why I think it's become oversaturated, because some people aren't doing it for that reason.
There was an unwritten code of ethics, wasn't there? That, like you said, people knew when somebody else was doing it, so they did theirs at a different time, so that people had that break and could also go and work somewhere else. And also because, as we both know, the majority of people in the fairs we would attend, they were the same store holders or readers that were booking in on those fairs. So it was all done in a very community, even for the people that it was a community based thing. So it has become a little bit, I'm running fair and every, but again, can people afford it? Because from previous experience, I have watched people go from table to table to each reader. So that's an expensive day out if you're paying for readings on at an event. Even if it is a short reading, it's still quite a bit of money if you add like how many people you've seen. But like platforms, we know that again, people are not, they're booking or they're not booking, or they're saying they're coming but they're not turning up. And then why are people not doing that? Because if they've already said they're coming, is it money, or is it just, I can't be bothered? Because there's lives on Facebook and loads of people are doing lives.
I was just about to read Stacey's message.
She said about unhealthy, how many people. I read that, which we've talked about before.
The Stace says, Spirit are here to guide you and advise you when you need it. Some people, for whatever reason, completely rely on readings after readings and live their lives by it, which is unhealthy. Absolutely,
Yeah.
Stace, it really is. Because you have, I only have readings if, for sometimes I just, because I think there's something coming, I want to know what it is, or I'm being a bit impatient. It could be a genuine thing I've got going on in my life. I just want to see where it's going. And want a bit of guidance or something for that, but I don't have regular readings, and if I'm lucky I might get one on live, that sort of thing. I had a lovely reading the other day from Bill and Ellie Charles on collective consciousness, and I was just turned on and then started listening. It all made sense, put my little hand up, and the message was brilliant. It all made total sense, but it doesn't always happen. But yeah, it's not good to live your life by them. You have to make your own choices as well. You have to, think about things. What do you want? Do you want to say yes or no to something? Are you ready to end that relationship? That sort of thing. You have to make your mind up as well. It's not just about relying on us people. That's why a good reader won't see you for 6 months, because you don't need to go back and back and back and back and have the same reading all over again.
Unless something drastic happened, and even that I'd like to think doesn't, there is no reason for that. And I always tell people that when they come to me, even if they say, oh, I went to someone else last week, but then I'm like, well, were you happy with the reading? Well, yeah. Well, then why have you booked? I mean, I've always said I'm bad for my own business, because to me, were you happy? Because if you were happy, you wouldn't be booking another reader. Or are you waiting for something to come out that's just not coming? And sometimes it's not coming because it's not there. It's at the end of it, we've all said it, it's free will. You take what you want to take from a reading. A funny question that I got asked from one of my ladies that does a workshop. She asked me, as much as we do workshops, she's never had a reading with me directly, even though she gets snippets when she's doing a workshop. She said to me, do you let people record you? And I said, yes, for my sins. If they want to play back my voice, that's entirely up to them. Personally, I cringe when I hear my own voice played back. And she said, oh, and you're happy with that? And I went, well, 2 years on sptv, I don't know who's watching me. I can't really complain if someone wants to record a private reading. And she was saying, she's quite a young lady, and she said she's found several readers are refusing to have it recorded. And she asked me, one, why, and two, my opinion. And I said, well, I can have my opinion. I can't really say why. And I don't, it is personal choice, but is it because it was old school? We never had phones to record. You wouldn't put a tape recorder down, would you?
From years and years ago, I found, and now I haven't got a tape recorder, so I can't play it. But when I was like sorting out all this stuff, I don't know where I put it now. I put it somewhere safe. I found a cassette of a reading I had so long ago. I have no idea what's on it.
One. I told her I had a tape, same as you, can't play it. And I told her I had a tape because a woman that's sadly passed now, but funny enough has a connection to someone else that we all know. She always did recordings on a tape recorder, and then she'd give you the tape at the end of it. And I said to her, that I remember that from years ago. I didn't go to many readers when I was young, but I do remember that the ones I did gave you the option to have a recording, or they'd write things down. Or, because she said, oh, some people tell you to write it down. I said, the trouble with that is you're trying to listen. You don't want to be writing it down. And also, if you're emotional, which I have been in the past, once, because I don't do emotion, people, but you would not remember
like the ice queen.
But you wouldn't remember your reading, would you? I mean, half the time you don't remember your reading anyway, because you're so engrossed. So
I can't remember what my own name is.
Yeah, but it is funny. There's been different techniques, and she said, is it because it's a more modern thing? And I said, well, I think the younger psychics and mediums probably are younger. They've got technology. Yeah, it's like they record. You wouldn't have seen people doing a live unless they were Sally Morgan or Derek Acora, and they're actually on telly. So I don't know. I said, but that said, the generations of who she was talking are actually more my age group, and I haven't got a problem with people recording me.
I haven't got a problem with it at all. Feel your boot.
Maybe people are scared that if it's recorded, they can prove they were wrong, but I'm not scared. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll tell people that. And if they don't understand it, 6 months, 12 months down the line, when they suddenly do, they go, oh, do you know what? I played my recording back, and then I got what you said.
Yeah.
But, we're not here to second guess what we're getting. We just say it. We don't understand it, but
No.
So it is right. So there's lots of catches in there anyway, Stace, I think, with readings and how people's minds work anyway. From
I'm
the
just
reader.
just going to read Kate O'Mahony's comment. Sorry to butt in. I just was conscious of it been there for a while. So I don't think you can beat the energy exchange when having a good old-fashioned face-to-face reading, healing, a good hug at the end if it's emotional, etc. I totally agree, Kate. I mean, to be honest, the people I would let read for me, I would pay for. I would be happy to do a face-to-face or an online video reading with them, because I know them. I know they're genuine. I know that they'll give me the best that they can possibly give me. But yeah, absolutely, I do love an old-fashioned face-to-face reading. And to be fair, I prefer face-to-face readings. I prefer to do them. I don't mind at all. It's exactly the same working online with me, but I like that person being here. I like their energy in the room. I like to be able to hold their hands, or, like you said, give them a hug if they need a hug at the end of it.
Yeah.
There's something very different about it.
There is definitely. I mean, I do hug quite a few of my clients if they look like they're huggers. I sometimes hold their hands because they've literally burst into tears before I've even started, and I've always got tissues on the table because I do tend to make a lot of mine cry. Not intentionally. So yeah, it's nice. And again, healing, as much as I do it online, I do like that feeling at the end where I just gently touch them to let them know it's finished, and then I talk, and if they get emotional, again, it's a nice exchange. She's right, the energy exchange is totally different, but it doesn't mean because people always ask that as well. You can still read and you can still do healing not face to face. It can still be done. It's all energy at the end of the day, but it's just having that connection with somebody. So
absolutely. I pulled a card for Kate. I pulled the Seven of Pentacles and the Princess of Swords. There. See them okay? Right. So with this is telling me, Kate, that you need to start doing a little bit of looking after yourself. All right. I want to say that there could be a person or a couple of people that are really starting to, let's say, take advantage of your kindness, and that you perhaps need to it's up to you how you deal with it, however, but this is saying that you can't be there for everyone all of the time. You certainly can't, drink from an empty cup. Is that the right thing?
Just can't, cup half full.
Yeah, whatever the saying is, whatever that is. But yeah, this
Get
really
yourself a
important.
drink. Get yourself a drink.
It's really important that you sort of don't say no to people sometimes, or put your boundaries down a bit. There's just some here, like you seem to be rushing after everybody else, and rushing, maybe it's with work, or it could be family, it could be everything, but it just feels like you're the one that's sort of trying to hold everything together at the moment, and you're the one that you're sort of running on empty, or running on fresh air, literally, and caffeine. Now this is saying here you're going to be okay, but you do need to step back from it and just think, actually, am I looking after myself? Because at the moment I feel like you need some healing yourself, possibly a nice massage. I keep getting really achy shoulders when I'm linking in with you as well. Like I said, a good massage, some healing, or maybe a bit of both here for you. But this is saying that anything you've been worried about, anything that has been sort of, let's say, playing on your mind, or there's been a worry around, this is saying that we're coming to a head with it now. It's all going to be sort of smoothing itself out now. Just know that some things happen in life, don't they, we can't control. Some things happen and they feel way out of our control. But this is like saying, stand in your ground, stand up for your morals, stand up for yourself, take yourself off for a couple of days if you can, or even a day, spa, whatever you like. But just make sure you look after you in this. I think as well, there could be somebody having a bit of a legal problem around you as well. And I want to say that there's going to be, it's all sort of coming to any contracts, for example, that need signing, anything that's on a legal matter. Legal can be, house moves, solicitors, all sorts of things. But this is saying just making sure that you're tying up any loose ends. It's going to be, the worst is going to be over soon, and you're going to be all right. So I hope that makes sense to you, Kate.
Well, I got the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Wands. And straight away I think, Kate, are you a healer yourself? Because I got quite a lot of heat when I looked at the Ace of Wands. I felt that your own hands are quite powerful, lots of heat. But also, like Polly said, I got a burning sensation at the top of my sort of spine, neck, shoulders area. I felt like there's quite a lot of heat going on there. So there's some sort of discomfort. But I do feel that you've got the power in your own hands to use that. That was telling me. And the Eight of Wands was telling me, yes, you've got lots going on, way too much, actually. It's almost like you're here, there, and everywhere. You're doing everything for everybody with no thought for yourself. The legal thing that Polly tapped into, I got, it was around, I hate saying it, a marriage. It was something to do with marriage I was picking up. So I don't know if I'm right on that. But I just feel that you need to take a step back in general. You can't be there for everybody else. It's wearing you out. And I think with the Ace, it's showing me more negative. Instead of being you're on top of it, I feel that in a minute you're going to burn yourself out. It's almost telling me your flame's going to go out in a minute if you don't take some good care of yourself. So just bear that in mind. And if you have got healing hands, get them on the back of those shoulders.
I hope that makes sense. Was there any more?
With the capping.
Was there any more feedback from Kate? Just making sure it made sense to her.
So yeah, I thought she did. Yeah. Myra Titania, this is the first time with you. I am from Finland. Welcome from Finland. And for me, these different FB or Zoom options have been a facilitator to participate in spiritual events, circles and demos. It has been a blessing. I've learned a lot and met the lovely souls around the world. And that is great. We know that from doing readings for people around the world. That is great. The fact that we have the technology now to do that is fantastic. But it'd be interesting, Mara, to know, as you know, Chris said from South Africa, what's your options in Finland? What do you get to do face to face there? I'm glad that we can all help you here, and that's what SPTV is for. But we you know, what do you get in your own area? So we know now, I think, Richard, you can safely pat yourself on the back. I think SPTV has done exactly what you wanted it to do. It has touched. Yeah, you can close it down now. It's touched many people and brought demos, circles, events, lives, different types of spirituality, hasn't it? It's brought a church in with us randoms, as we call ourselves. It really has opened up a whole different ball game. Where else would you get so many different options to tune into? You know, even the VIP events, there's so many different things. The lovely Alison and Dawn doing brunch. It's opened up so many things to talk about, you know, different subjects. Mm-hmm. So we know we should all be very proud of ourselves, and Richard should be proud for setting it up. But we want to know what you're getting in the face-to-face now. That's what we want to know.
Jessica Wynn says, eating dry cereal and watching the show. I truly enjoy watching this show. Thank you, Jessica.
Thanks, Jessica.
What cereal have you got?
If it's dry, it's got to be something chocolatey.
Yeah, it will have like Cookie Crisp.
Sweet, yeah.
Or something like that.
So what else we got, Mr. P? I know you're busy there cutting and pasting.
Marie Cairns, I'm looking for local groups for trance healing. Where would I need to start looking for a group? Right. Marie lives, I know Marie, and she lives in the Midlands area. So if anybody on here knows of any trance healing groups, or I guess training, then please do let us know, and I can pass that on to Marie. I do know people that do it, Marie, but they are this direction. So if you would like to some information on that, please do let me know, because obviously I can let you know. It might just be that there's some groups or a qualification training. Then obviously we can look at that. Now, as to find something in your own area, see, I will only recommend somebody that I know. So I might, it's like if somebody wanted a healer and they didn't want me to be the healer, for example, I know I could pass them on to Jane, or Lulu, or my friend Joanne Bonsor. I know that there's lots of people that do totally different things that I can recommend people go to, but I would only recommend people that I know. So even if I heard of somewhere, I'd want sort of some credibility from somebody to know if they were good.
Here's an add-on then. How far would someone be willing to travel to do a face-to-face event or demo. Because I'm not saying Marie has to come all the way down, but that sort of adds on to what we're talking about. Would you travel? We know people did for the Spiritual Weekend. We know people are for the SPTV Holistic Fair. But how far have people been? How far have you travelled, Polly? How far have you travelled to be taught something? Or
Scarborough.
Where?
Scarborough.
Scarborough.
Right up north. There is a if anybody fancies it, I know Brian Walker goes on them. I went on one when it wasn't called Circle of Feathers, but now it is called Circle of Feathers, because it was run by somebody else, but then they stopped running it, and then there's two lovely people, a couple that now run it, and that's up in Scarborough, and it's like a retreat, but it's like a training retreat, if that makes sense. Not for certificates, but so they would have like I went on the transphysical medium course, and then there was one with sound healing, and there was one with shamanic healing, and one with mental mediumship, and then so it was like a vast amount of different things that you could do. So you put your name down for what you wanted, and then you had a couple of options or whatever, and then every day of that week you got like 4 hours training in that, for example. So that's the furthest I've gone, I feel, right up to Scarborough from here.
So if anyone's on watching, let us know how far you would travel to see somebody. I mean, some people do have their favourites, don't they? In fact, that leads me on to something I see where someone had, whether it's because they'd seen our SPTV awards, but someone had said that why do we have to have recognition, and why should someone be named best medium, best psychic, best healer, whatever? Whether they'd misinterpreted or whether it was nothing to do with us, I don't know. But it wasn't about, we're not saying, although we do think you are the best trance, Polly, we're not saying that everyone, they're the best. It was what the public voted for, because they're their favourites. We all have favourites. We all get, we don't just sit at any reader. We are drawn to the reader. When we go and do face-to-face, someone's drawn to you for a reason, or they've been recommended. So it's not about saying they're the best in the world. It's about the fact the public voted them because they enjoy what they see and what they get. And it did say recognition. It didn't say the best. So
and it is recognition. I mean, if anybody is on my Facebook, they'll know that I never even advertised it. I never advertised it once.
I did share it a few times near the end before Richard told me off, but I did it before SPTV, like I do with everybody.
But I advertise all the events and everything that's coming up, or if I see your show come up or Sam's show or whoever's show come up, I'll share it if I'm there and I see it, because I want all of you to get the best out, people to be able to see you and have an experience with you guys. If somebody picked up their mobile phone and decided to vote for me, then I'd be like, oh, that's really nice of them. And I was thrilled that I won it. I didn't expect to win it, because I know that there's other people out there that are somebody else's favourite. And so, with regard to this, like I said, it's like it was supposed to be a public vote. And even people that weren't on readers, healers, shows, everything that didn't have anything to do with SPTV could be nominated, and they were. But I think it's nice to be recognised when you do all of that hard work. And I wouldn't vote for myself, because I just do what I do because I love what I do. I know that you, for example, voted. You could have voted for yourself, but you voted for other people.
I did.
And you used it properly, as what I would say. But everyone has their favourites. I have favourite shows on SPTV.
Yeah, it's like anything. So I don't think it's, if anyone had any misconceptions of it, I don't think it was to say who's the best. It was to show who was recognised, who the public liked, and also it's to recognise SPTV. This is a voluntary channel. People need to remember we give out our time for this. It was a recognition, and hopefully for this ruined Mr. Producer's life. No. In fact, Mr. Producer's put a question up, people. So he has put, here is a question for you then. If SPTV organised a paid event online in Zoom to help raise funds, what would you all be willing to donate? So answers on a postcode back to him, but no. postcard. Sorry, yeah. No one knows his postcode. But yeah, let us know what you think on that, and then we can sort that out. But yeah, it is funny, isn't it? People still get misconceptions. I shared the recognition awards after it happened. I, said I was humbled to be in the top 3 of 2 categories. The people that won, I actually voted for, so I can't moan that I didn't win. I voted for them. But I was humbled because I didn't really think too much about it. But also, I shared it, and funny enough, someone on my personal page did put, if you're all psychics, how come you didn't know who the winner was? You're always going to get someone that's been a bit funny. I think they were joking. And you're always going to get people that can be down on things. But I don't think in any way this was an ego trip for anyone. This was a recognition of the hard work that SPTV has done and the people that host on there. And it was collective. It is, like Mr. Bill Hughes' show, Collective Consciousness. And it was to recognise every single person, even guests that have come on and worked with SPTV to make it for the public. So,
well, the lovely thing is as well that, people could get, I don't know, some people are in every single field in the world. It doesn't not just talking about the spiritual field here, every field. There's always the big egos and there's always the humbles. And I would go for the humbles anytime anyway. But the people, when we did the show, Richard did the show, there were so many people congratulating each other. And I even had private inboxes from people that I might have beat, for example, or whatever, saying, well done, Polly. Go on.
Yeah. Yeah. So just like Mr. P said to us, there are other people that run psychic spiritual awards. They do them in magazines. We won't name them in case we get shut down. And they're done by panelists. So it's not like this was new. This was just new for SPTV, but it wasn't new that it's only SPTV. This was opened up to anybody, and it was totally the public. No one fiddled it, did anything. Yeah, there was no panelists. It was generated by the public votes. And yeah, we could have all voted for ourselves, but that's only one vote towards us. We all worked, I think as a team and voted for our colleagues, for our other hosts. We did the right thing in how we voted. But yeah, it's not new. And as Chrissy Wheatley's put, we have music TV awards, so why can't we have psychic medium ones? Yes, I agree. And recognise people for the great work. And it is recognition. It's not saying you are the best. It's not egotistic. It's recognition. So, people do, but we're never going to please everybody. And we've always known that in this game.
Yeah.
Stacey put a comment back up about because SPTV is south of base. Obviously, we're down in the south. She doesn't drive. So public transport's too expensive. And that's why she wouldn't be able to come to an event here. But not just SPTV states. How far would you travel though if you were in your local? I know you're in a small village, but say away just outside the village, how far would you travel to see somebody? To be fair, I've done most workshops around locally anyway, and I've been very choosy who I've gone with. Polly is one of them. But I have travelled to London to meet a psychic medium from Australia. She actually invited me to dinner, and I did travel to do that because I was intrigued that I was invited to dinner, so I went. So it was more an evening's event of dinner and getting to know her. So I did do that. But yeah, I probably wouldn't travel unless it was really, really important to me. So
I think there's only one.
We are lucky because we've got a lot that's down this way anyway. We are lucky we can pretty much pick up things within a good sort of few miles radius, can't we?
Natalie says, all your energy time is free. It's so appreciated. Thank you for this. You're welcome.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. What else have we got, Mr. P?
Oh, Kate thinks awards were brilliant. Thank you.
I think most of the feedback, just reading all the people that won and the people that commented after them and all the people that were nominated, we've all congratulated each other. The viewers have congratulated us all. And I'd like to think the public out there that might have voted for their favourites that weren't SPTV, they were also congratulating us. That was the whole idea of it. So I think in total, you've had a good event, Richard. Next time we just need the long dresses and the dinner, the tables of 8 with the wine glasses, don't we? Like the music awards.
So Grace
No.
says, before the lockdown, I used to have a medium come to me and do a party of 6, but medium's not been that good.
We've talked about that, haven't we? The house parties.
Yeah.
They're draining, to be honest, Gracie.
I really, to be honest, I will only do them for a select few now. I used to do absolutely loads back in the day, but to be honest, they are exhausting. You've got a lot of energies going on, and if they're drinking, that is a complete downer in my head. Very over emotional, that sort of thing. But a good, Tina, I'll come back to you. I used to, like I said, do them. Now at the moment, I work so hard. I do so many readings that actually by the time I get to the evening, I've got absolutely zero energy to do readings. And you have to remember that, it's a lot for somebody to do. But I'm not saying, some mediums are brilliant and some connect with you really well. And some might connect with 4 out of 6 of you really well, but not the other 2. And that's just how it is, unfortunately. But, if the reading wasn't that good, then just don't use them again. Just go use someone else. Tina, I was just trying to think about what his name was, because I was thinking if I was going to travel to see anybody, it would be him, John Edwards.
And this is how much I know about other mediums. Who is he?
He's quite hot.
Sorry, John Edwards, if you're watching us.
I travelled to London once to see John Edwards, but to be honest, some of my best readings have been on sptv. I would travel to see John Edwards because he interests me in the way he works. To be honest, I find him interesting. However, I wouldn't go by myself. I wouldn't go and I know that tickets for his events that have come to London have been quite expensive as well. So not only is it getting there, it's also paying for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much? And the rest, about
75. I bet it's more than that.
Or
100 sometimes for someone local.
100 and something easy. Chrissy Wheatley, I travelled 43 miles to go and see Derek Acora. I met him, so it was a bonus to meet Derek. It was worth going all that way. Well, as long as it was worth it to you, Chrissy, that's the main thing. It doesn't matter if you maybe have an idol, or you connect with somebody, or you find them interesting. Absolutely, do it.
I told you my story, haven't I, about Derek Acora, who I've never met in person and didn't have much interest in either. I think I have mentioned it on one of my lives, haven't I, Richard? The time he passed, bless him, I had I suppose the only thing you can call it, Polly, was an overshadowment or some kind of trance of him at that time. And when I woke up the next day feeling quite strange about it all, my phone was on and I have it on sleep mode, so it's literally it times out. There was Facebook, and strangely enough, it was Kate May saying about him passing. And I'm thinking, 1, why is my phone even on? It's on sleep mode. And 2, oh my good God, I'd literally had his face in my face and even the feeling of him passing. So I frantically rang my friend who has met him and said about it. She said, yeah, I've just heard. I went, do you know how he passed and what time? Because prior to going to bed that night, I'd had an episode of how he had passed. And I've never been a follower of him. So it also shows you don't have to be an idol or understand anybody. Because I did say to Richard at the time, why me? I've never even followed him. And I used to find Most Haunted quite actually irritating with their voices.
You never told me this.
I thought I told you. I have mentioned it, I think, on my own show when I was in. I kept it quite a while because the old people go, and they go, oh, yeah, all right. But I did tell Richard because it was one of my most bizarre experiences of what because obviously I've always been quite visual and I do get them at sleep, and I've always seen things happen before they've happened, like big things. This was different because this was a person part. I have had feelings of people passing, famous people, but not to the extent that I actually was that person and feeling how they were.
Wow.
Oh, and I didn't even follow him. I didn't even have him on my page. Didn't have anything to do with him. I literally had to find out stuff about him because I was thinking this is literally bizarre. But yeah, it's one of my many strange occurrences.
That's a cool story. So can we just go back to Chrissy? Was it Chrissy, the one that was before? Only because I pulled her a card. Or two. Right, I've pulled you these two cards here. So we have the Hierophant and we have the King of Cups. Now, Chrissy, can you correct me if I'm wrong, right? But these cards together are telling me that it's either somebody is having some sort of legal matter, or that there is somebody like with certain, do you know, like with health, sometimes it's about not taking no for an answer and getting some answers. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you, Chrissy. It could be a parent, a relative, a friend, a partner, even actually. Is somebody here trying to fight for something? Because it feels like they're either fighting for something on a health level or fighting for something that, for example, you know, if you go to the doctor and then you need to see a consultant, yes, it's me, Chrissy. Now, Chris, I don't know if this makes sense, either a legal thing or around a health thing, but I've almost wanted to put it into both with you. Now, this is saying to me that you just got to make sure that you don't take no for an answer with regard to something on a legal level. It's really important here, like I said, or getting that, like, maybe advice or seeing some sort of consultant or higher leveled person there. It's showing me here that sometimes they can say, oh yeah, I don't know this, yes, they are fighting. Sometimes they can say, oh no, it's not a thing, we can't do anything, we can. There is something here that they can do about it, and it's like push and get this sorted out, okay? And it's almost like having to make a real stand around something as well. Now, it's important that nobody backs down. There's definitely some I want to say recognition. It's like I want them to hear what you're saying, or the people that are involved are saying. It's like not taking no for an answer. And I know I've said that a few times, but I can't stress this enough here, okay, that they just need to push and not back down. It was almost some sort of resolution coming from this, but it does seem to take its time a little bit, Chrissy. So it's definitely not about giving up. It's definitely not about just letting it all be easy. Don't let it be easy. Make it hard for people around any, like I said, either legal or medical fight there. Okay, I hope that makes sense, Chrissy, because there will be some results. It might not be exactly what you're thinking, but it will be pretty much there. Okay, hope that helped.
Just to add on, Chrissy, I got the 10 of Wands and the Emperor, which told me you have literally had the weight of the world on your back with this, but it is coming. It's actually coming nearer to a closure. I am getting the number 10. It's drawing me to the number 10 as well. So I don't know if it's been going on 10 months, but there's something to do with the number 10 around it. But it is finally coming to closure. So don't give in now. The Emperor's telling me you really have got to stand your ground on this one. And I'm being drawn to the Taurus, the bull in the zodiac. So it's saying, it's not like fight like a bull, but it is like saying dig your horns in, literally stick to this, because there is an end result coming. So I hope that makes sense. I've also got just two people around. Sorry, yeah, I can't pick up. They're coming in and out quite faintly. There's two people in spirit watching over you with this as well. So remember that they're in spirit watching this, giving you the support. So I hope that makes sense. Do you want to do some adverts?
Advert time.
Okay, Polly, over to you. You can do the advert, lady.
So tonight it's VIP on Zoom and okay, from 7:30 this evening with, is it Jessica May? Yep. Please do join in. She looks like she is working as a animal healer communicator. And she's also giving readings as well. So please do tune in. via Zoom. This is for the VIPs. So if you're not a VIP, become a VIP
Well, you
by
can't watch it.
making a donation monthly, which is a very small donation and keeps SPTV running.
Then, do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, we have the lovely Alison and Dawn back for Monday brunch at 11 a.m. Alison and Dawn were also nominated for Best Show, so you obviously all enjoy it. So don't forget to tune in to both of them tomorrow. Don't know who their guest is. Must be a surprise. Wait and see. Tune in, you'll find out.
Surprise!
Surprise, surprise!
And we have live readings with Deb and Richard. Don't know who that is. Tomorrow from 8 o'clock in the evening. Live readings with Deb and Richard are seriously, well, entertaining, let's say. If you have met Deb online, honestly, she is amazing, amazing medium. Richard is also an amazing reader, even though he says he's not.
Richard flying in with the unicorn there.
So please do join them tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
Okay, we got hang on, he's keeping us on our toes now, Polly. You can do this because it's you.
Right, on the 4th of June, myself and the lovely Sam O'Neill will be doing a paranormal investigation at the Roebuck Inn, Droxford Road, Wickham, from 8 o'clock until when it finishes. If you would like to join us for this evening, and come along and investigate with us, we will be using lots of different divination to try and find the ghosties and ghoulies. Pardon? This will not be broadcast, so if you want to experience this, you are going to have to come along. All right,
it's live event.
It is not going to be free for you to watch online. It is going to be literally exclusive to the people that are there. Now, it will be a good evening. We always have a good time on these things. And hopefully we will find some, be investigating some spirits and seeing what's happening there as well. So please do, if you're interested, please do go onto the link, which will be on here, and you can book your place.
And the last one, the important one, don't forget our holistic spiritual fair, the first one ever, Saturday, the 11th of June. And then the demonstration afterwards is with Kirsty and Matt, lovely Polly, and the lovely Bill Hughes. And that's also at the Roebuck Inn. And that's tickets only.
But remember, the fair is at Waterlooville Community Centre.
Community Centre, yeah. So this is then in Droxford in the Roebuck Inn, and this is tickets as well. So please go online and book your tickets for this one. And this won't be broadcasted either. So we've just proved the point that if some of these events, you've got to come in person and see them. And are you all willing to do so, those that are local? Sorry, Stace, because I know you said you can't do that. But yeah, so those that are local, hopefully you can. So, a bit of movement on my camera there.
Oh, Chrissy, that's feedback. I'm fighting for somebody but can't do it on here. That's absolutely fine. We weren't expecting you to, Chrissy, as long as you know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So, have you got another question, Mr. P?
Oh, there you go. There's your 10 months.
Yeah, I got 10 months. 10 was quite clear.
That's absolutely brilliant. Well done, you. Ali J. My first experience of a reading was at a house party, but one-to-one in another room. This was 10 years ago, and nothing she said came true. Plus, everyone seemed to have the same reading. Oh, you do get them, Ali. You do get them. Unfortunately, there are some people that do, let's say, come out with some flaky evidence and flaky future, and that could mean anything to anybody, to be quite honest. Unfortunately, I always say that everyone's got something to give.
Yeah.
However,
I think in answer to that as well, because I did a house party 20 odd years ago. Someone approached me and said, would you be interested in having some people round and let my boyfriend do readings? He's back on the circuit and he's lost his confidence. And I said, oh yeah, I'll do it. So I invited people round, and a few people could take things. A couple of people wouldn't even talk about it. And then everyone was moaning. But like we said, people were drinking, and by the time he got to me, they were being rowdy, and in my other rooms we could hear them. And my sense was he was extremely nervous because he was back on the circuit and he'd lost his confidence. So in fairness, and I've been there when I think I first did my first party, there is a confidence thing. We're not, we're not walking around big, shoulders, and we can brave it. Experience comes the more we do it. And if you're starting out and you've lost your way a bit and going back on it, like Mr. P of his fake readings, you need to rebuild your confidence. So it might have seemed like everyone was getting the same thing, but maybe that person did give something, like Polly said. There was something there, but because they weren't probably assertive themselves reading, people didn't take it seriously. Because, I've always said, everyone's a psychic. Everyone can tune in psychically and pick up things. They've just got to, relax and do it. But I think, can you remember your first time doing a party?
I can remember the first party I did, and I can remember I was doing angel cards, just angel cards at the time, but I could do the mediumship, but I was a bit too scared to say I was a medium. So it was just in case they didn't come through, that was one of them. And once I'd done the first one, it was like I was all right, because I knew that I had to do 5 in a row. It was like boom, 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 boom. And I thought, by the time I did the first one and got over myself, then I was like, the second one, it was like rolling till the end. Rolling. Yeah. But it was, to be honest, I remember more hideously my first demo, but it was as a fledgling. I'll never forget it. I think I lost my body weight on the toilet because I was so scared.
She'd take the mick out of me, Mr. P.
And I honestly couldn't eat for 2 days because I was so terrified of standing up in front of this crowd of people who knew we were fledglings. It's not like they were all expecting the world, because and I remember, I think I must have shook, but then I remember the weirdest thing came out, which could have only made sense to one person, and it was about, I kept saying, the song Paper Roses, have you heard of it? Yeah, well, I kept hearing it in my head, and I kept saying, I keep seeing a rose, I can't remember who it was, come through, mother came through, and she's singing Paper Roses, but it's not about the song. I keep seeing a tiny little, like origami rose, and it's tiny, right? And I just keep giving it to you in your hand, right? And it's like, but I don't know who I'm talking to at the moment. And I gave other evidence after that. And then this person put the hand up, and they said that the mother had given them a ring, but it was like, do you know those things that you put in resin so you can see them?
Yeah.
And it was like a paper rose, origami rose, but it had been made into a large ring. And it was the mother that had given it to this person.
Oh.
So it was some evidence that you couldn't have made it up. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean about the medium bit, because as you know, I always tell everyone I'm not a medium.
But she is.
I had someone from my hospital job approach me and said, I didn't realise you were a psychic. Would you come and do a house party for me? And I said, well, yeah, I can do. She said, none of us realised what you did in your other job. And I went, well, you don't sort of mix that sort of work when you're on an acute medicine ward, do you? Can get a little bit messy. And I laughed. And then we would arrange the date, said I'd do it, said how many people I prefer to be there, because you always used to turn up and they'd have another 2 people. And I'd be like, oh. And I learnt very quickly to say, no, that's my limit. No, I'm not doing them, because it is tiring. And then all of a sudden she said, oh, we're so excited because so-and-so wants to talk to her mum and so-and-so wants to talk to her dad. And then I went, I'm not a medium, like I do. And she went, oh, I went, is it readings you want or actually connection to spirit? And she said, oh, well, we all wanted to talk to someone we'd lost. And I went, okay, well, I'm going to be honest. I can do that, but I don't know how long I can do that for, and I can't guarantee it. But I actually am psychic, so I tend to read more and pick up what I get that way. I said, so I totally understand if you want to cancel it. And I think probably, again, because I worked with them, I was thinking, oh, yeah, I don't want to mix this 2 jobs together. And she went, no. And I went, we'll talk to the others. And she came back and she went, no, we're all adamant we want you. So I remember going there thinking, God, no pressure. They're all expecting to talk to someone. I've told them I'm a psychic first and foremost. I'm a tarot reader. That's what I do. And I sat down and first one, there was hardly any tarot reading going on for the whole afternoon. Everyone was spirit and everyone I connected to and gave them a message from spirit. So it was weird because I'd almost tried to talk them out of having me and they still agreed to go ahead. And actually I did the total thing that they wanted me to do. So it is, again, it's nerves, it's trust, it's just going with it. But I'm not a medium, people, if anyone's watching.
Somebody just popped in to say hello. I just had to get up and open the door because it is like a sauna in here. I was having a little bit of a moment, and in came the cat. So yeah, absolutely. I've made a small donation. Please, may I have a card? What do you think?
Oh, go on, because I think Gracie did ask a question, didn't she, Richard?
I think she did.
She did ask a question. Can I just quickly say, Gracie, I don't know. I've just got this because I'm not a medium, but I've got a really bad pounding headache. I'm not medical either. Well, I sort of am, but I'm not. I've got a really pounding headache feeling around you.
Not medium, not medic.
Not a medium. I'm not a medic. I'm not a holistic therapist. Yeah, I'm a liar. Actually, I'm a liar. I tell lies.
Liar.
I'm a liar. But yeah, I don't know if it's you, Gracie, but someone. It's really quite heavy sensation. It's really actually quite uncomfortable all around, more my right side. Really, really bad headache, feeling like almost feel like my skull's being a little bit crushed.
I feel like you're linking into somebody up there because I was picking up like either a stroke or an aneurysm or something going on with the brain.
Right side.
I want to say male, and it seems like there was something. They wouldn't have lived much past that, okay? Because it was like whatever this happened there, they either passed quite soon after this, or they're quite debilitated by something. Gracie, let us know if that makes sense to you. You might have
she's got a headache, but I still think there's somebody, in spirit as well. So Gracie, you've got the headache. To go and take some tablets. It's a cracking one, but there is definitely someone in spirit as well, and it is, I'd say, stroke.
Yeah, I thought stroke or aneurysm.
Because it's weird. My head feels heavy. I feel like a heavy. I've picked 4 swords and come to the edge for Gracie. 4 swords straight away told me that someone that literally was taken down quite quickly with this. So it wasn't a case of they were resting; they were literally taken down quite quickly with this. It made them immobile, and I do feel that there wasn't there was a passing quite soon afterwards. It was quite a shock as well, because I'm feeling the age wasn't of an age where you would have still expected it. Not that anyone can say when anyone's going to pass that way, but the come to the edge it made me feel like that was like a head. It's nothing like a head. It's actually a piece of rock, but I just felt it was like someone's head had literally almost like someone had poured concrete in it. So I don't know if you suffer with your headaches quite a bit, but I feel that they need looking at, because it is almost debilitating. It's almost making me feel off balance, like you can't do anything. It can wipe you out for a day, and it's that to affect your day-to-day stuff. So I want to say go and get that looked at, because there is a very simple reason to getting that sorted. That's what I'm sort of getting the message there. Someone's also throwing lots of I'm getting love. You've just put a love heart up, but I'm getting lots of love hearts. The love heart itself is a symbol for something, not obviously, as we all know, it's love. I feel that somebody it's either some kind of artwork or an ornament. It's quite big and it's very symbolic. It's quite a big heart and it feels 3D, so I want to make it an ornament. I don't know if that's making any sense, Gracie. Your dad had a sudden heart attack. I wonder if it was his right side, though. It's the brain.
See, I'm still going head. I just
feel the head could have been, but it was quick.
Yes, I suffer with headaches. Go to the GP. That's
because I feel like your head's just someone's poured concrete in it, and you're just not getting anywhere with it. You haven't literally done it, but
Gracie, I think it would be a real idea for you to take a little bit of a record of things that you're eating, because I do feel with you, because suddenly when you wrote that, I felt certainly in my stomach. I know that you're saying your head hurts, but I feel like there's something that's giving you a headache. Okay, obviously please do get everything checked out. All right, it's really important with anything, any condition that is going on with anybody of any part of their body, that you go to a doctor and get that checked out. However, I want to say that if they can't find anything to do with your head, there's something very much related to your stomach that feels like it's happening, that you could well have an allergy or intolerance, and it really might be worth getting that checked out. Sorry?
That's for you. Mr. P said keep away from cream, but that's just him.
Keep away from cream.
No more milkshakes and ice cream for you, Mr. P.
I pulled out 2 cards for you very quickly. We've got new home and perfect timing. Now, this could be a home, or it could be a place of work. Now, I do want to say that if this has been something you've been thinking about, this is time for action, because you've got moving is a step in the right direction for you. It all brings good things, this card. Okay, so if it was a move to a new house, for example, it feels like you're going to find the right house, you're going to find the right property. It might be a little bit further away than you're thinking. However, if it's, like I said, a work situation, it seems to open up new things with you, Gracie. So this is a definite time to start thinking and looking outside the box. And if it is something work related or home related, this is like saying, don't worry about it being on your doorstep. It does not matter. If something's not right, constantly sleeping. Yeah, do get that checked out, Gracie. But yeah, do also know that if there's anything coming up with around you or a partner or anybody around you of a move of work or home, this is like the perfect time to be thinking about it.
Okay.
Hello, Natalie Rogers. Please, may I have a card? I asked a few questions. Thank you. You have asked a few questions, but we had I think it was because we had quite a lot of questions coming up on the screen at the same time at one point.
Well, that's because they froze. So obviously Mr. P had to keep trying to cut and paste them. So sorry to anyone that didn't get their question up or they think we've ignored them. It's not. It's just Facebook being Facebook. I don't even remember saying hello to Natalie, so that's how bad that is.
I do remember. Right, I'm going to pick one out of this deck as well. Right, so if you're ready, Jane, go ahead.
I'm just picking mine. I'm getting peaches around, Natalie. It's all going on now. I'm not a medium person. I'm getting peaches around you, Natalie. It's random. In fact, do peaches grow on trees? Am I sounding really ignorant? Because they do.
Yes, they do grow on a tree.
No, big trees. Are they big trees or little trees? I can't place them. I'm going to shut up, Mr. P. Well, you knew I had to do it sooner or later, make you laugh somewhere along the line. I am getting something to do with peaches around you, Natalie. And the reason I'm going to say about the tree is prior to coming on today, I was trying to just relax and I got shown a tree in the garden and I couldn't work out what the fruit was on it because it certainly wasn't apples. I'm not a lover of anything more than apples, bananas and strawberries. So that's probably why I'm being ignorant. And a man was standing there picking it, but I felt like I'd gone back quite a bit in time. I wasn't in the current. I'd gone back and I was with him, watching him pick this tree. And the tree seemed quite sacred. It was almost like he was proud of himself that he'd grown it this big. And I kept asking, why are you showing me this tree with peaches?
I'm only laughing because it sounded like you were going to say a big word and then thought, I can't say that big word. So you changed.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't say a big word. So, but he didn't really tell me, just kept smiling at me. So you're going to have to let me know what peaches has got to do with anything, because I picked for you opening to love and the 3 of Pentacles. But as soon as I looked at that, I just got this great big peach looking at me, and it's actually a lover on fire. So there you go. That's how random my readings are. And it says your heart is open. But I do feel when I look at that, I don't know if this person has passed quite recently, but he still took me back in time, and I want to go back for some reason around the late 70s. Now I'm showing my age, but I feel like the passing, there was quite a special thing done at his funeral. I'm seeing something like being I can't even explain it. It was a very unusual send off, is what I'm going to say. But I can't see what I'm trying to lay something on a bed of flowers, not have a load of tributes. It's like someone was laid on a bed of flowers. But peaches has something to do with that, and that's random, I know. The Three of Pentacles is telling me there's been a lot of I think flexibility. You've been trying to sort finances out. I feel like you've been trying to, it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul, but you've finally started to get it a bit straight, and just putting things in compartments, and there's still work to be done on that, but you've sort of come above a very tricky situation. I always hate talking about anything too personal on the lives. I'm always quite conscious of that anyway. Not everyone has to know your business, but I just want to say you're on the right track. You are definitely doing that on the right track. And with you, Natalie, see, I'm well going with it now. I'm getting discomfort around your right side, a little bit of discomfort. So I don't know if you've been having any problems there, but I'm just picking up some twinges on the right side, just below the rib cage. So let me know if that's making any sense. I can't get this peach tree out my head now, so I'm going to go over to you, Polly, because
Right,
say the wrong thing.
I had holiday in winter first. So holiday in winter. So this is showing me a bit obvious, really. There could be very much a holiday that you're booking in the sort of latter part of this year. Natalie, it feels good, right? And I do want to say over the seas as well. I keep getting an M, so it could well be Malta, Malaga, whatever. But I keep seeing an M there. Okay, so it could be like a place or a country or a city or place in a country that begins with an M.
Where peaches are grown.
Where peaches are growing.
She's put yes. Just quickly, she's put yes. I understand. So
we don't know what you've understand.
Yeah,
but if
just
you
let us know what you actually understand, because I don't understand.
On a different level, I do feel with you, Natalie, that there could be. Do you know when there's sometimes a situation at work where you might need to? Oh, this is interesting. Again, it might not be yourself. It could be somebody close around you. But do you know when you are worried about something, or not being a whistleblower necessarily, but do you know when you have to flag something up, right? I just keep feeling there's a situation that you could be either needing, or somebody, a partner, somebody around you could be needing to flag up an issue, okay, around a work situation. I do want to say that whatever this is, if it doesn't make sense now, it will do, about maybe some unfairness, maybe something there that isn't right, doesn't feel right. That's the only way I can explain it without going into massive more detail. You've just got to God, sorry, I'm just trying to think about how to word this. If it's a one-to-one reading and no one else is listening, it's very, very different. But yeah, anything on a worry or something that you need to go and see a superior about, or anybody around you needs to go and see a superior about, it's justified, okay? So this is saying that it's a really good idea to start thinking, do you know what? I shouldn't just sit back and let this happen. I need to do something about it. Now, sometimes this could be a situation, for example, if you had a child at school where you felt like they needed to see somebody higher, or you needed to go and make a complaint. But I do feel like it's time it was done, and that anybody that this involves around you, that they need to put pen to paper, start writing some bits down, as maybe, you know, evidence, let's say, that sort of thing. So I hope this makes some sense to you, Natalie, because I know that was really random. The nice bit was a holiday in winter, okay? Very much probably around in October. The nice bit was peaches. I like a peachy side. Okay.
Not a peach.
So I hope you understand, Natalie. Like I said, it could be like around a family member, a child at school, anything there, but it is, or in a work situation, but it's definitely something that needs flagging up, and it's definitely something that we should take no for an answer. And it's about going to the top on something here, not just like making a little complaint, you know, and they're not ever hearing anything about it again. It's about making a stand and getting something sorted about it. I understand the situation. It's my granddaughter. Okay, Natalie, as long as it makes sense to you, that's the main thing. I don't know how old your granddaughter is or what the problem is, and that's not for us to know, but just know that it will get resolved. But it just feels like it's one of those situations here where we have to get a few more maybe external people, external agencies, or even it could be like the governors of the place that I want to go to. Okay, so not to stop with that, Natalie, and anyone involved with your granddaughter. So yeah, I really do hope that hope that helped you put your teeth in, Polly Harnett.
Okay then, lovely people, we are going to love and leave you. We thank you all very much for joining us today on the Sunday sofa, and we thank you all for tuning in to SPTV. So don't forget tonight's show, don't forget tomorrow's shows, I can't be bothered to go through, and don't forget all the lovely events we shared. And don't forget, you can still interact and give advice and send stuff over to the fan page, or even Richard, if there's anything else you want to talk about. We are quite happy to answer anything else once we come off. Obviously not now, because we're going to have our tea, but yeah.
And remember, the 4th of June is the paranormal with myself and Sam O'Neill, and obviously it's not going to be on the telly for you not to see, so you're going to have to come and pay to come. And if you would like to be involved in that, it would be lovely to have you. And also the 11th of June in the evening at the Roebuck Inn is myself, Bill Hughes, Matt and Kirsty. And again, it won't be broadcast. So please do, if you want to join us and hopefully get a lovely message from one of us lovely mediums, then you will have to be there in person. So it'd be great to see you.
Yeah.
Oh, the cat's here.
Cat's back. So we're going to go, aren't we?
In 2 weeks' time, we will be back at the same time, 4 o'clock. And it'd be lovely if you could join us again. So until next time, bye.
Bye.
Spiritual Psychics TV presents an holistic fair on Saturday the 11th of June. Offering the best in spiritual readers and market stalls. Join us from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Throughout the day there will be many stalls such as natural polished crystals and stones, qualified complementary therapists offering spiritual healing. This exciting day is being held at the Waterlooville Community Centre, with plenty of free parking. A wide range of handmade products including candles, oils, jewelry, naturally organic and vegan soaps, creams, and bath bombs. Not forgetting the kids, we have face painting and a bouncy castle to enjoy all day. For those who are interested in potions, spells, and essentials oils, then we have a stall for you here as well. Maybe you're looking for a reading, be it mediumistic, palm, or tarot. 11 readers are available throughout the day. Refreshments such as drinks and light snacks are being provided by the 1940s tea room from Harnett. Plenty of free workshops, talks, and a demonstration of mediumship are also planned during the day. For more information, please visit mbs.spiritualpsychicstv.online.